The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
This portion of the show brought to you by JHA Company, Josh Houston and Associates. Jewelry, letter, jackets, yearbooks, graduation products, and more. Online at jhacompany.com. You probably got a class ring, don't you, Dalton, from JHA? May have.
I lost my class ring the summer after my senior year of high school.
Well,
okay.
okay.
It lasted about 3 months.
Why doesn't that not surprise me? I don't know. Matt Kriesky is our guest here, talking Blackman football, and Coach, a big win last night, a needed win, a good one, and for once you probably were able to relax just a tad at the end of the game, if you do relax.
Yeah, I think somebody came to me last night. Todd, one of our character coaches, said that's the first time I've seen you smile on the sideline. So I guess it was good. You know, I told the kids at halftime, you know, since we've been here, we haven't really finished a game, just completely finished and put somebody away. So we challenged them at halftime to see if we could do that. They came out and finished like we wanted them to do. You know, we said all week, if we play like we're capable of playing, it shouldn't have been the game. Coach Crosby and defensive staff challenged the defensive guys all week, and they said they did not want any points on the scoreboard. Offensively, we said if we take care of the football, did not have turnovers, did not give the ball away and give Summit, you know, great field positions, that we would have a great opportunity to win last night.
Some standouts in the game last night. Ethan Carson, 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Austin Moore had a 25-yard fumble return for a touchdown. Good to see that, like defensively, something like that happen.
Yes, Austin's been a great kid. He's been with us the past 2 years. Moved in. He's done really well. He's stayed the course when things weren't going the right way, and to see him having a great year this year has been great on the defensive side. And I tell you, that young man, you watch him come downhill, he likes to hit people. So that's what he's there for. We got to tell him sometimes in practice. We got to tell him to relax a little bit. He don't want to hurt our own guys.
Yeah. And Brian, is it Odur? Is that how you say it?
Yep,
okay.
Brian Odur,
So.
A sophomore. Marcus connected with him. Marcus, another sophomore, connected with him on a big pass play. Was able to get in the end zone. But seeing 2 young guys in a critical point in the game to make those type of plays is huge. And kind of looking for us for the future. You got 2 sophomores out there on Friday nights. The future's bright at Blackman.
And you're the kind of coach, I think you would love to have a good running attack and mix it up a little bit, where you don't have to be too dependent on one or the other. And you've got Cameron's a youngster, but he had a good night, 8 of 12 for 95 yards and a nice touchdown in the win last night. And he brings a little. Both quarterbacks, I know you like to use both of them,
Yep.
and both of them bring a little something to the table, don't they?
Yep. One thing, Marcus, it was 3rd and 8. I told him all week when we watched the film, if you don't like it, pull it and run. I said you're athletic enough to run the ball. And at 3rd and 8, he was able to pull the ball down. I think he ran for about 12 yards, got the first down, kept the chains moving. I told him we just need you to manage the game and then not have turnovers. And if they're giving you a gift, throw the gift. We'll get what we can and move on. And don't force something that's not there. As a sophomore, I thought he had a great night. And moving forward, we plan on using both. Jonathan's done a great job for us. It's just that I think we have 2 really good quarterbacks at the same level, and so competition always creates them to be better. They know that they got to come in each and every week and work. And so we want to create a competition battle where these guys are working hard each and every single day. So we'll make a decision next week of who's going to start the first drive against Oakland.
The in that game last night, and your schedule has been tough. I mean, it's been tough. And how good does it feel, though, to see kind of the first, I think, really, even with the tough schedule you played, the first complete game that you guys have really played? Because I know that the game that I watched and the games that I've seen, there's been some quarters that haven't been good, and that looked like that may have, at least for last night, that was soft.
Yeah, the only thing I say negative about last night, I thought we started out a little slow. a little sluggish. It was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. But once we got going, the first quarter went pretty fast. Both teams were just running the ball, so it went pretty fast. But once we created a turnover on defense, I think the guys just kind of took oh, okay, we're fine. And then they started playing normal. We as coaches, when we met last night, we can't do that next week. You cannot. We can't not sit on our heels and wait for something to happen to then attack our opponent. We've got to come out next Friday night firing on all cylinders if we expect to be in the game with Oakland.
I know and I'm not trying to go into the locker room, but I know you've had some talks with them at certain periods in games that have kind of shut it down a little bit to get them back into the game and the mode of playing football, and you can see it. I can almost see it when I'm watching the game. I know what he said to him, because you're trying to make them believe, and the only way to do that is success, and they're starting to see that, I would think.
Yes, and that's been the biggest part. I think we've got to win a game that we're not supposed to win, so these kids will really believe and truly buy in.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, and I keep telling them we're right there. We're really close. I could tell on Monday, I saw some kids come in. They had their heads down, a little negative, coming off a really tough loss to Ravenwood. And, I told the kids, we're going to be fine. It was just, we're preparing for week 4. It's still a long season. You never know what's going to happen. But if you give up now, it's going to be a really long season.
Yeah.
So.
And the game at Ravenwood, a play or two here or there, you win that game. And then that's the game you're looking for, isn't it? I mean, that's the game that would really make them believe.
Yes. It would. But, I like playing good teams like Brentwood and Ravenwood. They're both well coached, and those guys and those staff are going to find areas to expose you and what you need to work on to get better, to move forward in the season and get ready for region play. And I feel like Coach Finch and Coach Hester's teams have really done that for us and really helped us as a coaching staff really dig in and find our true identity of who we are and what we're going to be this year on both sides of the football.
We're talking to Matt Kriesky, the head coach of the Blackman Blaze. Big winners over Summit last night, 35-0. Now we switch gears a little bit, and of course region play starts. So there's no looking back now. This is the time. If you've got to pick it up, this is the time to start doing that.
It sure is. I told the kids, I said, enjoy it. Until about noon tomorrow. I said enjoy it, and then. I said the film with Oakland will be shared, so start watching the film. I said, it's been a while since Blackman's beaten Oakland. I said you got a huge challenge ahead of you, and if you want to have a chance next Friday, we've got to start working on Saturday. So we're going to start meeting with our kids, talking to them, and getting our game plan ready for next week. I know Coach Kriesky well. He's going to have a great game plan ahead. There's probably a lot of things that he's going to show on Friday night that we haven't seen in his first 4 games. So we've got to be prepared for everything. He does a really great job. Me and my brother probably wouldn't be in this position right now if we wasn't coached by Coach Kriesky. So we think the world of him, and we know what type of coach he is. And so I've got to prepare our guys this week for anything and everything.
You're not saying he's old, though.
No, he's not old at all. I say one thing. Me and my brother used to cut his grass for him. He wouldn't give us any money at all. You need to give him a hard time when he gets on here.
I know you did say one thing, and I know that's why you're getting ready. There's probably nobody more prepared than he is in a game. I mean, he comes across that he doesn't, but he's the most prepared guy I know.
He is. There's every little thing. He knows every little shift, everything that you do on both sides of the ball, and he's got to answer for it. And so you've got to be prepared for it. We've got to be prepared to make adjustments throughout the game as coaches if we want to give our kids a chance on Friday nights. So, talk about the kids, but a lot of this is on us coaches. We've got to, because he's like a mad scientist in there. He's studying the game film, and he knows everything, and he's got his call sheet ready for every answer that everything that we try to throw at him.
Yeah, he makes adjustments really well, and that's what you've got to do the same.
Yes, sir.
To do that. It's like a chess match, isn't it? A little bit.
It is. It is.
They don't, and you look at them, and on paper, there's not a lot of things to exploit. I mean, you have to really just play your game and not really worry about them as much. Is that right? Is that right to say? And just, I know they've got good special team play. You got to do that right, and then they've got those explosive running backs. You got to try to contain them. They got more than one. So, is that kind of the game plan you're looking at?
Well, it's just, I mean, they're going to be physical. They're physical at the point of attack, defensively. Coach Watson and the defense staff they do a great job, because you see those guys are flying around, and they're in the right spot. They're making plays, and Coach Kriesky and those guys, ever since he's been there, he's brought that mentality. They're going to be physical. Even in his close games, you see those guys, they hunker down and they buckle their chin straps up, and they're going to come after you. The game when they went to Texas, you could tell, they're down. But those kids were still fighting, and they fought to the very end, and they pulled it out, because I think, physically they wore out that team, and they got after them for 4 quarters, and I don't think the team from Texas was ready for that.
I know, just knowing you as briefly as I have, but I know one of the I guess attractiveness about getting into this region are the teams that you play, and they're tough, and they are. But I think you like the challenges of that.
I do, and it's fun coaching our kids. It's fun to see them grow and get better. From this whole process from January all the way until now. I tell the kids, we've had some things go on this past week that wasn't so great, and I tell the kids it's no different than what you do, things you deal with in your family. Everything in your family outside of football is not perfect, and so everything in here is not perfect. How are we going to adjust? How are we going to overcome? Either we're going to take a step forwards and learn from what happened this past week, or we're going to take a step backwards. So I said that's no different in the game of life. Some of us on this team made a mistake this past week. And are we going to grow from it and become better young men, or are we going to go backwards? And so Friday night, after a tough week of practice, I think they accepted the challenge, and they got better. And I told them last night I was proud of them, how they what happened this week. They overcame it. And then how are we going to move forward from here on out?
Always a lesson to learn, isn't it?
It is.
Every week.
It is.
Going to be a great crowd there. I know Blackman will handle that well, and looking forward to a great game. We're going to be there, and so make plans to attend that if you can. So I don't know if there's any TV anywhere, but you can watch it on the Big G TV, can't you? Yeah.
Yep.
On YouTube. So, Coach, good luck, and we're glad you're here.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
All right. That's Matt Kriesky, the head coach of the Blackman Blaze. Coming up, I turn the reins over to Mr. Danny Brewer, the illustrious announcer on this program, and he'll be back here with you as we take a break. This portion of the show brought to you by Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin, who will work with you to develop a complete, tailored strategy to help you achieve your financial goals. That's Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Les Kesson's Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door.
If you're